And I could see the instructor just doing this, tensing up. So I had this friend at Apple who worked on my team at Apple, big car enthusiast, racer, and he created this really cool app at the time called Tracktopia. And he, to do his product launch, rented Thunderhill for the day and had this incredible track day for $200. You know, at the time he called me up and said, "Hey man, do you want to do this with me?" And I had been living in San Francisco for a while. I think I had just moved home, and I was like, you know what? I have some more business out there. There's some things I could do, but yeah, I'll come out and do this. I just don't have a car. And he was like, well, you know, maybe I could talk to some friends. And so he checked with some friends to see if we could find a car for me, and just never really could come up with anything. And I thought, you know what? I have a whole bunch of points with Hertz. So I booked a Mustang 5.0, landed, picked it up, got all the full insurance on the car, drove it around San Francisco, pretended that I actually retraced all the route from Bullitt. I mean, I thought I was Steve McQueen at the time. The next morning, drove up to Thunderhill, and we did the vehicle inspection and everything. And I mean, it was great. I have never lost right on the thing, and I knew exactly where I was at all times. Being new to this track and a newer driver, they'd pair me with some of the more veteran drivers to be instructors for you. Did my first session, and it was amazing. There were 18-minute sessions. We did 6 throughout the day. But by the 4th session, the brakes are starting to heat up. All of a sudden, if you know Thunderhill, there's this one turn, and you guys who play the video games all know exactly what I'm talking about. There's this long straightaway and then a 180-degree hairpin turn to come back. And your speeds at this point get up in 120 miles an hour. And so I'm barreling down straight towards this runway. I'm in the groove. I'm doing really well. And I start pumping the brakes at my braking points. Nothing. And I'm like, no brakes, no brakes, no brakes. And I could see the instructor just doing this, tensing up. There's kind of an apron beyond this, and I just kind of start to angle out and just take this whole apron coming around, get on the accelerator, drop the back in, and just put one tire off in the grass, get back on the track, and start heading down the other straightaway. And the instructor is just like, thank you for doing exactly what you're supposed to do in that situation, because had you not, we would have absolutely spun off. And I would have had to try to somehow explain to Hertz that I just spun off the freeway somewhere, and who knows what kind of telematics they had, tracking that car at the time. But by the time we were done, I mean, probably, we used up about 10,000 miles of its brakes and probably 5,000 miles of its tires, which were completely melted. So hopefully car companies will still rent me a car after me telling this story.